Hashtag Trending would like to thank Meter for their support in bringing you this podcast. Meter delivers a complete networking stack, wired, wireless, and cellular, in one integrated solution that's built for performance and scale. You can reach them at meter.com/HTT. That's METER.com/HTT. Geoffrey Hinton says big tech's AI profits depend on replacing people. Google Cloud rises to challenge YouTube inside Alphabet. The International Criminal Court dumps Microsoft Office, and YouTube calls Windows 11 how-to videos illegal. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. Geoffrey Hinton, often called the godfather of AI, says the world's biggest tech companies won't make money from their massive AI investments unless they replace human workers. In an interview with Bloomberg TV, Hinton says that while AI can increase productivity, the real profits for firms like Microsoft, Meta, Alphabet, and Amazon come from automation, not from helping people work better. He points to skyrocketing capital spending among those companies, expected to jump from $360 billion to $420 billion next year, and he said it's driven by the potential to cut labor costs. Job postings have already fallen by about 30% since the launch of generative AI systems like ChatGPT. But recently, Amazon's layoffs of 14,000 staff, officially described as cultural changes, also align with CEO Andy Jassy's prediction that AI efficiencies will reduce corporate headcounts. Hinton stressed that the harm isn't caused by AI itself, but by how businesses and governments choose to use it. He said that the challenge is not just technological, it's economic and ethical, warning that productivity gains won't automatically benefit society unless wealth and opportunities are better distributed. For Canada and the US, where policymakers are already watching automation's impact on jobs, Hinton's comments underscore the urgency of planning for retraining and transition programs before AI's next wave hits. A story in the Times of India answered a question I've been asking for a while. Why hasn't Google Cloud been more of a force in enterprise cloud? And then last week, when Google signed a massive deal with Anthropic, part of the answer became clear. And as it turns out, YouTube, Google's longtime money machine, now has competition from inside the same company. Once seen as a money-losing division, Google Cloud has become one of Alphabet's fastest-growing businesses, powered by the surge in demand for AI. The unit pulled in more than $15 billion last quarter, a 34% increase over last year, closing in on YouTube's revenue and making it Alphabet's second-largest business after search. Credit goes to Thomas Kurian, who took over in 2018 and rebuilt Google Cloud's culture around customers and efficiency. He also brought the company's in-house AI chips, its tensor processing units, or TPUs, under Cloud's control. And that move has paid off. 9 of the world's 10 leading AI labs now run on Google Cloud, including OpenAI and Anthropic. Anthropic alone has signed up for access to as many as 1 million TPUs in a deal worth tens of billions, even though hosting giant AWS is one of its major investors and has its own AI chips. It's a clear sign that Google's cloud offering now rivals the giants of industry, and that inside Alphabet, YouTube finally has real competition. There's been more fallout from Microsoft's troubles with the International Criminal Court, and a clear sign that Europe's growing push for digital sovereignty is very real indeed. The ICC has announced it's dropping Microsoft Office and switching to OpenDesk, an open-source productivity suite run by Germany's Center for Digital Sovereignty, or ZenDIS. The decision comes amid mounting concern in Europe about depending on U.S. tech giants, especially after several high-profile outages and political tensions involving the U.S. government. Earlier this year, after the U.S. administration sanctioned ICC officials over arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, ICC Chief Prosecutor Karim Khan reportedly lost access to his Microsoft email account. Microsoft President Brad Smith denied cutting off the service, but acknowledged that the company can't fully guarantee European data sovereignty under the U.S. Cloud Act, which allows Washington access to data held by American firms anywhere in the world. And at the same time, Germany has led the move towards European-made software. Its Open Desk project, backed by the federal government, now serves as the backbone for public sector collaboration tools across several EU institutions. The ICC's decision adds momentum to a wider European shift towards self-controlled cloud and productivity platforms, and away from U.S. tech dominance. And finally, here's a story that's a little disturbing, especially for those of us who post our shows on YouTube. YouTube has started taking down videos that show how to install Windows 11 on unsupported systems, and even labeled some of them as illegal. One tech creator, Rich from the Cyber CPU Tech channel, and we've covered stories on Rich, said his videos explaining on how to bypass Windows 11 hardware checks were removed for supposedly depicting harmful or dangerous content. The takedowns came with a bizarre warning that such tutorials could lead to harm or death. Rich appealed, but YouTube stood by its decision. He now says he's worried about the future of his channel, which focuses on PC repairs, gaming, and computer tips, the kind of workarounds tech audiences have shared online for decades. YouTube hasn't clarified how a Windows install guide qualifies as dangerous, and there's no evidence Microsoft requested the removals. But the incident highlights growing confusion over how platforms define harmful content, and whether algorithms, rather than humans, are deciding what we can teach or watch. For creators in the tech space, it's a reminder that even legitimate repair or customization videos can suddenly fall on the wrong side of the rules. And that's our show. Once again, we'd like to thank Meter for their support in bringing you this podcast. Meter delivers full-stack network infrastructure, wired, wireless, and cellular to leading enterprises. Working with their partners, Meter designs, deploys, and manages everything required to get performant, reliable, and secure connectivity in a space. They design the hardware, write the firmware, build the software, manage deployments, and run support. It's a single integrated solution that scales from branch offices, warehouses, and large campuses to data centers. Book a demo at meter.com/HTT. That's meter.com/HTT. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a marvelous Monday.